Welcome to Stories from the Pitch, a podcast dedicated to creating living oral history about street performing and some of the crazy characters who populate this world. I'm Magic Brian, your host for this growing collection of interviews. I'm very excited about this episode. It's an interview I've wanted to get for years, and luckily it happened on the second to last night at the 2019 Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Eric Amber had a recorder handy when what seemed like out of the ether, the legend, Rumpel, aka Jolly Goodfellow, appeared. I'm always amazed at the rare occasion another performer says they don't know who he is or have never met him. More often than not, everyone has at least one Rumpel story. He's one of a kind, a true original. As I mentioned, the interview was done in the Edinburgh Fringe, recorded outside the City Café, so you can really hear the festival vibe in the background. There are also some great cameos by Koala, Anthony Livingspace, Dynamike, and Byron Bertram. In their lively conversation, Eric tries to demystify some of the accounts of Rumpel's adventures, but much like a politician, he talks around the answers, keeping the truth a mystery. Among other things, they talk about his car accident, his time with Cirque, getting a nose job, why he does marathon shows, and staying with Tiny Tim for 3 months. It's got to be one of the most entertaining interviews we've had on Stories from the Pitch, and it's no wonder with Rumpel as a subject. Enjoy.
I am standing outside the City Café, just above the Cowgate, near the Royal Mile, in the beautiful city of Edinburgh, Scotland. You know, the medieval city of Scotland has always got a few surprises, and who should I stumble upon but the one and only Jolly Goodfellow.
How's it going? Also known as Rumpel.
Of course, we all know that your name is Rumpel. Now, Rumpel, do you remember the first time we met?
Oh, Crique, it could have been 94, wasn't it? Oh, no, in Adelaide, I think it was, when you did with the three Canadians.
No, it was before then. We were Derek Flores and I were at the Byron Bay Hostel.
I remember that. Yeah, and we went in a talent quest thing, and strangely enough, I came first with some other guy, and you guys came second, the three of you.
That's right. We weren't even a group then. We were just a couple of backpackers in Australia, and then we did a bit of theater sports, and we entered the talent contest. We did a little theater sports, and then there was like 14 musicians after us, and then and I was sober in those days. And that's why I remember it so clearly. And then suddenly, this guy gets on stage. And you didn't have your costume in those days.
Yeah, I did. I juggled 7 balls and I fluked it. You know, I just...
Yeah, you had a unicycle. And you had a flaming...
skipping rope. And the spring shoes.
That's right, spring shoes.
I'm a bit of a spring chicken dinosaur now. I lost a spring in my step, but you got to keep going.
I know, you do.
Well, we're just standing outside the City Café in a pedestrian freeway in the doorway of the cafe the last night at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and yeah, it's quite great to be. It's fantastic to be back.
I have a feeling that everyone has the same experience I do, but every time I see you, it's just randomly. Like there was a time I was in Bangkok, and I was walking down Koh San Road.
I remember that.
And you just like out of the blue came screaming around the corner on the back of a tuk-tuk.
Yeah, tuk-tuk. Yeah, that was out of the blue. I mean, it was bizarre because I just got to Bangkok, on the flight. And I got a tuk-tuk to Koh San Road, and I heard someone call my name out. Hey, Rumpel! I couldn't believe it. It was you, and
that's right. I don't. No, thank you. Well, there you go. We just got for some drugs. The guy who was clearly not aware of our microphone.
Oh, crikey! Yeah, it's a funny city, Edinburgh. It's amazing. Like it's all happening with the Fringe going on. Yeah, I mean,
What brought you to town? You didn't do any shows?
Oh, yeah, I know. I just thought, bugger it, I'll just come up out of the blue. Yeah, I'm glad that I made it. That's for sure. I just done a 24-hour show at the European Juggling Convention in Newark, Nottinghamshire, and that was kind of odd, But yeah, it was great to have done it.
You've always had this thing about 24-hour shows. What's that all about?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm very much about quantity over quality. But there is a bit of quality in the quantity, probably a few flat spots here and there, but it can't be everyone's cup of tea. But yeah, it's just silly. Just, the jugglers, they stay awake quite late, so you can get away with it. Jeez, it's all happening right now.
Yeah, it's the second last night of the festival, and I'm interviewing Rumpelstiltskin, but next to me is JP.
Hiya, guys. How you doing?
I'm fucking great, mate.
They've been trying to get JP for 4 hours to do this. I mean, 4 years. 4 years.
Have you not done an interview?
It took 4 years of you guys chasing me, but I did it with Magic Brian, and it was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah. I thought you had been. I thought it'd been.
Brian Reed. Is it Brian Reed?
I mean,
No, Magic Brian.
I can't imagine.
I know Magic Brian, of course, yes.
I can't imagine getting you to chat about anything. Is that hard?
I love the sarcasm in your voice and knowing me since 1989.
Well, yeah, pretty close to that. I've known you a long time, and you love a chat.
I love talking to people, and I love being with human beings. It's the whole point in our job.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think you could do a silent act.
I am currently trying to negotiate with Korea for a mime clown gig.
Wow.
Picked up for the next Gangnam Style music video.
That one. Exactly that.
Well, I was just talking because I haven't seen Rumpelstiltskin in years, and of course he just sort of turns up out of the blue as he does. So let's just settle it here and then. You know, we all know you as Jolly Goodfellow. What is your real name?
In America, everyone calls me Jolly, but in Europe and Australia they call me Rumpel.
Well, that's how we know you.
Yeah, so I mean, but you call me Jolly.
I did.
Ask the question
Okay,
again.
I gotta ask you the question. What is your real name?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always been a good fellow. I mean, you know, I must have come from good lineage. I mean, Jolly Goodfellow is the second most popular song in the English language. I mean, for here's a Jolly Goodfellow, but no, it's Happy Birthday to you, but it's got the Jolly Goodfellow bit in it.
But I knew you before you were Jolly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been a good fellow forever.
You have been. You were born a good fellow.
Yeah, I can't go wrong.
Do you know the story? JP, do you know the story of Rumpelstiltskin is like, guess my real name? Is that the...
Yeah, 100%. I've always been there for that story, but you will never get his real name.
What's your real name?
Jolly.
Jolly.
Oh, no, that's on your passport.
He
What?
is a good fellow.
I'm asking the wrong question. What is your birth
I
name?
can show you my passport. Have a look. I've got it with me now.
Says
You can show it on the radio.
fellow.
Go on. Just tell us. Settle it right now. What is your birth name?
Yeah, Jolly. I mean, you know, if he's a Jolly Goodfellow, I mean, you know, yeah, it's meant to be.
It is meant to be. There's nothing. There's no two ways about it.
I have the same birthday as Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know why I don't get hired for the company mascot of Facebook. I mean,
Does he ever send you a happy birthday?
no, but he's younger than me. But I'm making peanuts.
So you are currently are here, but you've been living in the United States for a while.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I was living in my van on the edge of existence in La La Land. You know, I just go to the gym to have a shower. You know, I mean...
As you do?
Yeah, because I do background work to survive, and sometimes, I'd sign in with my little ironing board, and they'd say, have a good workout, Mr. Goodfellow, and I'd just go to the men's changing room and iron my shirts. You know, and sometimes you get these big buff guys checking out their pecs in the mirror, and they catch a reflection of a scrawny scarecrow in the background ironing his shirts. Yeah, I mean, it was funny, and sometimes the people that would work at the gym would have to, do their duty, and they'd walk in the men's changing room, and I'm there ironing my shirts like a goose. A gym rat, Rumpel the gym rat.
You got some, we all know that you worked at Cirque du Soleil for a while.
I did 847 shows. I'm a bit of a spring chicken dinosaur now. I'm a bit burnt out.
How was that experience? When I first met you, I remember one time I was in Montreal, and you just walked into my theater, and you're like, "Oh, hey, you going, Eric?"
That place was amazing. That was Catherine Stair Theatre. I mean,
Theatre St. Catherine.
That's right. Yeah, it was incredible. It was so well decked out. I thought, what an amazing space it was. Yeah, I was really amazed.
Yeah, and that was when you first started working for Cirque.
Yeah, Cirque du Soleil. Yeah, no, just when they were doing the creation period, I made it over to your theatre, and Wow, that was a beautiful space you had going on there, that's for sure.
Well, I appreciate that, but I kind of lost track of you after that. You ended up in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, I did 2 years working for Cirque du Soleil as the original Fall on the Hill on the Beatles Love Show in Vegas. And I was the main character that did the pre-show warm-up, doing that 485 times and 847 shows, 2 a night, 10 nights a week. And I used to ride a 9-foot unicycle across the stage every night. I only fell off at one time when the stage manager miscued the call, and I couldn't ride in a straight line when the stage going down. But it used to crack me up, the bloopers in the show. On New Year's Eve, the show broke down, and they had to cancel the show after 2 songs because the stage got stuck. Oh, the hydraulic system. They got these techs come out with their crowbars trying to crack the stage open, but they couldn't free it. And the manager walked out and he said, I'm the company manager and I'm afraid we have to cancel the show, We can't free the stage. But I couldn't help laughing. That was just too funny.
Isn't it true that you broke your leg at one point, or?
Oh, I didn't break my leg.
You were out of commission for a while.
Oh, I crashed on the way to the Burning Man festival. That was a massive wake-up call.
Oh, it was the accident.
Yeah, and the theme that year was the American Dream. I crashed on the way to the American Dream. But now I've got an American passport. Strangely enough, I got it on Earth Day. I'm no longer an alien. I got naturalized on Earth Day, and you can't write this shit. That really happened.
You are an American citizen?
But I've been to every country on the entire map of Europe. If you type in Europe in Wikipedia with the entire flag listing, been to them all, even Azerbaijan, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Armenia. I'll go anywhere. I probably should get lost in the jungle in Papua New Guinea, my jester's outfit. I'll probably go down a hit.
Okay, so for the clarity of our listeners, the time you had a car accident, tell us the story.
Oh, God, I don't know. I think I might pass on that one.
Okay.
I might get in trouble.
Well, there's a famous story about you getting pulled over by the police.
Oh, that was odd. Yeah, I had 5 policemen pull guns on me a week after I got my license, driving a 77 Lincoln Continental Mark V, a gold one, and it had tiger skin seats and a leopard skin steering wheel. It's like asking for trouble just looking at it. I'll be chewing the ears off elephants to get through the story. But I was driving on the strip after a 4,000th Ode party, a Cirque du Soleil party. It was 2:30 in the morning, or maybe 3:30, but a police car from behind popped his cherry when the lights turned green. You're supposed to stop immediately, but I kept driving nervously like an old lady, and they'll tailgate me. A couple of police cars getting aggressive with their sirens. But it's quite a story to get through and all, but it was very dangerously funny how it turned out, but I got them in hysterics laughing, because they, my car nearly smashed in the police car when I pulled down some slip road. I went to get out, and you're not supposed to do that, but I kicked my foot down nervously and accidentally hit the accelerator instead of the emergency brake, so the car raced back, nearly smashed in the police car, and he pulls out his megaphone and goes, "Don't move or I'll shoot you." I didn't hear what he said, and his lights were so bright in my rearview mirror that I turned my head and squinted, and then he said, I put out his megaphone and said, "Don't move or I'll shoot you." And I thought, holy fuck, he did say that. And there was a cold black silence. I thought if I bumped the rearview mirror, it could be all over. Red Rover come up to the car and said, "Get out of the car," hands in the air. And I said, "Oh my God, I'm from Australia, I just got my license. I didn't know I did anything wrong." He threw me over the hood of a police car and he said, "Don't move." And I said, "I can't move." And he said, "What's your name?" I said, "Jolly." He said, "Jolly what?" I said, "Jolly Goodfellow." I thought he was going to rough me up, thinking that I'm taking the mickey, but he asked my license. He said, "Where's that?" I said, "It's in my pocket." And he pulls out my wallet and he says, "My license, Jolly Goodfellow." He goes, "What do you do for a living?" I said, "I'm a fool." He goes, "What do you mean you're a fool?" He goes, "Where do you work?" And I was nodding. I could see the Mirage Casino lettering in the back street in the distance. I said, "The Fool on the Hill on the Beatles Love Show in Vegas." And he looked through my car for drugs. And his colleague said as he was doing that, "Has someone told you before you really look like a leprechaun?" Had me out, kissed my green I'm Irish t-shirt. It just goes on. And then he came back and he said, "Oh, he's okay, he's got no drugs." And his colleague goes, "Don't he look like a leprechaun?" And they kicked themselves laughing. It was so dangerously funny. And we all had multiple giggleasms, laughing off each other's laughs like idiots. And he said he pulled me over. But man, if I was black, they would have shot first and asked questions later. They don't mess around in America.
No.
Oh my God, in Scotland, they're pretty chilled.
But yet you stayed.
Yeah, well, stayed for what?
Stayed in America.
Yeah, I know, I did. I've been to 41 states now in America. Yeah, I am Iron Man. But I was living in LA. I got cast as the jester on American Princess, so that was good that I got the jester role. but I'm not union yet, but, yeah.
Is that your plan to stay in the States?
Oh, not really. I don't know. I'm at a crossroads of higgledy-pigglediness at the moment. I'm not really sure what I'm doing next.
Yeah.
Midlife crisis, I guess.
How old are you? You're almost 50.
Oh, I'm getting on a bit now. I mean, geez.
You're older than me.
I probably am. But I sound
by a couple years.
I sound like I'm 13 on the phone. Everyone in LA calls me a ma'am on the phone.
Ma'am.
And I say, I'm not Julie, I'm Jolly. Like when you're, trying to ring up a car tire place or something, the guy starts saying, yes, darling, on the phone, and then when you roll up to buy the tires, they say, oh, sorry, I thought you were a lady on the phone. Oh, it happens all the time. Crique, by jingo, here we are in Edinburgh.
It's always hilarious to see you.
Oh, wow, likewise. I mean, wow, it's just all the serendipitous things that are going on simultaneously, like, wow, it's, too much to, talk about right this moment.
Well, and we don't need to do a full interview. I just knew in my heart that if I didn't pull this out right now,
then it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Jeez, you got to do this again. I mean,
you're like a gas.
Start it again.
That's like your show. Let's just do it again.
Yeah, I did something with a butterfly man, Robert Nelson, at his place in Pahoa in Hawaii on the Big Island. That was, yes, I'm really glad that we got to meet, because we'd heard of each other for years on performers.net.
Yeah.
So, it was a special time. Martin Newman was there, and we all were hanging out, and they were winding each other up, upstaging each other, but just having fun, winding each other up. Martin Newman and Robert Nelson were sort of digging into each other. That was funny. Yeah, but I was just sort of, it was amusing.
Did you have a dental work when you were young?
Yeah, I had braces years ago, and then I lost my dental plate. My teeth shifted back, so I had friggin' braces again at the tail end of the Beatles show.
You have good teeth.
Yeah, they're not bad, actually. Yeah, I mean, I had quite a bit of work done to them, too, and I got it for free because I was a low-income earner. Yeah, but I got 2 crowns and 2...
You're definitely not English.
I'm an Aussie now.
You got good teeth, though, too.
Antipodean. Yeah, I'm a wealthy citizen.
So what? Okay, just for the clarity, what happened to your nose?
Oh, I know, it's a bit ridiculous. I've got probably over 365 different noses for every day of the year. But, I mean, I can't wear them all at the same time, but I collect them from around the world. And, if you're a clown, never get a nose job because, you can use a beak to comic advantage. A ski jump just doesn't really cut the mustard for a jester.
But you actually did get a nose job.
Oh, I know. It's the worst thing that I could have ever done. I mean, metaphysically, you can't get your nose to grow back by thinking about it or doing Pinocchio affirmations.
Why did you get it done?
Oh, because I had a crooked eustachian tube and I couldn't breathe as good, and it was the worst thing that you could ever do. I mean, it's not like Samson getting his hair cut off. I mean, that's nothing. But I mean, like, could you imagine Mr. Bean having a nose job? That's the same.
No, I remember you talking about this many years ago. Didn't you meet Tom Thumb?
Ah, not Tom Thumb. My friend did a documentary on Tiny Tim, Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Tiny Tim.
Yeah. But, he rang up a few times when I was at my friend's house, and I did a 16-hour show at the Byron Bay Music and Arts Festival, and jokingly said it would be funny to meet Tiny Tim during the show. And a lady said she knew someone that knows him well, so she introduced me to him. And he was impressed that I had 5 Tiny Tim records, and he let me stay at his house for 3 months. And he played
for 3 months?
And he played Tiny Tim records every day. Tiptoe Through the Tulips. A lot of people think he was just a one-hit wonder. But ironically, the song that propelled him into stardom was the same song that he died singing to at a women's function in 1996. He did a Tommy Cooper. Died on stage.
Tommy Cooper? Oh, really?
Yeah, and so did Tiny Tim singing Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Wow. But he gave you the advice to get your nose job?
Well, not really. I mean, his friend that let me stay at his house for 3 months actually lent me some money, and it was, it was the worst. Oh, shit. I shouldn't be talking about this, but I'm
Go on.
tipsy. I just had 2 blue moons. No, one big pint and I'm tipsy. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. I probably sound like a munchkin on helium. Listening to a knob jockey jester. Chipmunk, I mean. Sorry,
So who told you to get the nose job?
Well, no one did, but I had a crooked eustachian. I kept getting a blocked eustachian tubes, and I'd had a crooked septum, and I couldn't. I kept trying to pop my ears, and I'd have a blocked nose all the time. It was really annoying. But I thought he would just straighten it to help me breathe, but he took out the fucking character, the cunt.
Oh, he took out the
bump.
The bump.
The fucking cunt. No, I shouldn't say that.
The cunt took out the bump.
I shouldn't say that, but that's just an expression of, frustration, the way that I said that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Where did you grow up anyway?
Melbourne, mostly. That was my home set. How's it going, Heather?
Oh, you're right.
Lovely to see you,
You're
Heather.
right.
Wow, you should be spinning knitting hats, traditional Scottish spinning yarn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's lovely, Heather.
You grew up in Melbourne. Where in Melbourne?
I mean, I've been all over us. Crique, how's it going? Livingspace, you flaming galah.
You fucking bang.
Well,
You got
well,
a
here
big
we-
hard on for Ernie Sigley. You have.
You have.
You have.
He's a gas, so I had to interview him here and now.
He's a fucking gas, this guy.
Interview Anthony.
Do you know what? The Rumpel came up to me. Yeah, have you seen my show? Where I got all the shit all over the fucking place? Like, it's like completely like devastation. And Rumpel walks up to me after my show and goes, "Crikey, Anthony, I don't know how you keep it so together."
Please, you have got it together now.
I have.
I mean, your kid was around. You got
Oh,
the
mate,
bo-
I'm
you got
killing
the,
it.
You got the boss amps.
Yeah, I got a boss amp, man.
Wow.
I got a boss amp. Have you got a boss amp?
Nah.
No, you wouldn't have.
Oh, I love your work. You're amazing.
Oh, there you go. From one clown to another.
I love your work. You're amazing.
Oh, we're fools.
Yeah, we're fools, aren't we?
You're fools in love.
We're real fools.
Yeah.
We're he's the fool on the hill and I'm the fool in the valley.
Anti-comedians.
Yes, we are. We are. You know what? When comedians walk past us with their plastic things on,
Where they
you know,
at?
like with all their passes and stuff, they look at us and they go, "Shit. Wow.
Wow, I mean,
That's the real shit."
Yeah, they're like,
That's the
I'm
real-
funny, but they have friends.
Yeah, that's the real shit.
well,
That's,
we don't do stars.
We don't. Well, you know. I gotta go get some drinking
Yeah, I mean,
thing. Drinking.
I just
maybe,
we're here.
maybe have a Krabby's ginger beer. That would be nice.
So, I mean, like, what kind of kid were you? Like, do you have any siblings?
Oh no, I was all right, you know. Yeah, I mean, my dad was pretty funny. He collected a lot of comedy videos. He was really into a great sense of humor. Actually, he never saw me perform, but he's a fabulous artist as well.
What did your father do?
Oh, he was a graphic designer. He did like freelance work for a big company in Australia. I mean, yeah. My mum was a fashion illustrator. My daddy did good cartoons as well.
So they were both drawers.
Yeah. My mum, she drew. Fashion illustration, just designing. Drawing. Yeah, and she dreams a lot, my mum. She's got folders of dreams from way back, and she just writes her dreams out.
She's still alive?
Yeah, she's a bit of a recluse, doesn't really go out that much. But yeah, she's...
When was the last time you saw her?
Oh, just a few months ago. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You're a good son.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great to see my sister again too. She's awesome.
When did you start performing?
Oh, crikey, I don't know exactly what year. It was probably... Oh, I did my first busking show in King's Cross in Sydney. I can't even... Maybe I was 17 or something, and I had these tacky satin flares and a tacky tartan minstrel top and Zappa ponytails, playing really bad songs on the guitar, and some Hell's Angels rolled up on their motorbikes, and yeah, it was pretty funny actually and scary at the same time. I was terrible, but a few people enjoyed it.
King's Cross is scary.
Yeah.
What's that?
Have you ever done shows in King's Cross, Byron?
I did do one show in King's Cross. It was crazy. I did a show, actually, funny.
funny experience. It was 2000. Did a show at King's Cross. It was just, ridiculous. And then right after me, Rusty Balls. Rusty Balls. Do you know Rusty Balls? I haven't seen him in ages. So he did a show. He had like 5 people. Did a show. One of them, during the show, there's a girl. It was like full torches, full torches. 5 drunk people. It started to rain even. And then one woman takes her pants down and starts pissing against the fucking wall. And then one other guy's like trying to get a light off his torch, and he's like,
Mahoney used to do in my show.
Yeah, that's King's Cross.
yeah. And then he like pushed the guy off with his torch. He's like, fuck off, I'm working. Full torches. The guy kept trying to get a smoke from his legs. He's like, fuck off, I'm working. 4 torches to 4 people, including the woman pissing against the fucking wall.
That's King's Cross, man. King's Cross is fucking tough.
And then we partied till 11 in the morning.
This is not interviewing the one Jolly. I know interviewing Jolly Goodfellow, the one and only Rumpelstiltskin, is not an easy task because he's like a vapor. You can't really grasp him. You ask him a question.
I'll ask him a question. Yeah. Listen, when you started this business, of like being a performer. Was it like a sudden decision, or was it organic? Did you like just find yourself in it, or did you actually start it? Like you're like, go, I want to be a performer. Did you see something that inspired you to be a performer, or did you just like end up with people just laughing at you and thought, well, this'll do?
Yeah, it was kind of weird because I used to do more poetry when I started, and that kind of merged into performing in a way. Just doing those long shows that go on forever.
Doing poetry?
Yeah, and just doing long shows, and that sort of kicked it off.
And when did you think to yourself, oh my God, Anthony Livingspace is just like the best clown ever?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When
did you think I can make a living at this?
I never really did make that much of a living from it. But I still, got by, only just.
So did you just go on you were just like riding the coattails of people liking what you did?
Yeah, riding the coattails of Livingspace.
Because you copied everything I ever.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah. Because I was copying you and you were copying me.
I'm your doppelganger.
No, I'm your doppelganger.
I'm your shadow.
In Germany that'd be a doppelganger, wouldn't it, or something like that?
Yeah.
Tell us about the car crash.
Oh, that was crazy. Yeah, I'm lucky to still be here. Really, I can show you.
We're lucky that you're here.
See, look, that's from the car crash.
I'd just like to say that he's showing me the scar on his arm.
Yeah. I crashed on the way to the Burning Man Festival, and that year was called the American Dream. And it was a massive wake-up.
So you weren't living it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing. I'm still here, but I didn't make it to the festival.
But how many times did the car roll?
Probably 8 times. I'm not exaggerating. It was.
And your spiders went through the window?
Yeah, my squeaky spiders flew out the window, and toys. I think my stuff saved my life. The 2 suitcases full of toys.
Do you reckon they cushioned your fall?
Yeah, definitely.
Did you? When the rolling stopped, did you like land on some of your props and like hear just squeak?
Oh yeah, well the car was total rock and roll to the max. The car, spun around many times.
Did you say just rock and roll to the max?
Yeah, well it spun around. I was going off the side of the road, and then.
Did you have any music playing on the radio?
Yeah, I did.
What was it?
It was my friend's CD.
What was it?
Oh, I shouldn't say really.
Go on, let's say it.
But it was very tranquil music, and it made me.
What was it? What was the CD?
Oh, it was gypsy jazz music,
Oh yeah.
A friend Jan Brouwhout from Amsterdam.
And that's what you heard while you were rolling over.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it rolled about. It spun in the middle of the road when I got, was going off the side of the road, but then I got back on the road, but it spun around, then it flipped, and it rolled about 8 times. Smashed in the desert rock bush, and the windscreen smashed in and popped a bloke.
And your spiders went through.
Yeah, Yeah.
And what was your first thought when it came to rest?
I thought, oh my God, I'm not going to Burning Man now. My arm was zigzag.
Did you call a taxi or?
Oh, I tried to flag some cars down, but no one would stop for me. They thought I looked like a Fruit Loop, you know.
You weren't in costume, were you?
No, but some old guy picked me up. I mean, no, he didn't pick me up, but he pulled up in his pickup truck and laid me down by the road, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack from in.
You were a bit stunned.
Yeah, the compression of the steering wheel in the chest, that was hard yakka.
No airbags?
Yeah, that popped in my face.
Right. Did the airbag save you? Or?
And my stuff. But the airbag was popped.
JP, teach me.
It really was.
Right.
Yeah, I've got a photo to prove it.
We'd like to see that.
I can show you.
And how were the physical injuries? Was it severe or?
Oh, yeah, I mean, you know, I can't quite play his guitar like I used to. My left
You
hand.
never could play guitar anyway.
No. But now I'm worse. But my left hand went eagle claw, so I can't do chords as good as I used to.
Right.
It's gone a bit numb.
Well, it's probably better. Then you've got an excuse for not being the best guitarist in the world, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us the time that you were on your way to Cairo, and you got thrown off the bus.
Oh, it was the plane. No, I didn't get thrown off the plane, but I was trying to get through the x-ray machine. No, I mean, my stuff was, but they saw the silhouette of the rubber snakes, and he pulled them out, and he says, what do you got them for? And I said, I juggled them. They were rubber snakes, and he was going like next to his colleague's face. Yeah, and I missed my plane, and I got stuck in Cairo for 4 more days, but it was a blessing in disguise because I made it to the Great Pyramid that time, and I met an Egyptologist from Australia that went especially for that date, making it into the last Great Pyramid. The second time was Ramadan. The time before that, I went on a dodgy camel ride.
I saw the photos of the dodgy camel ride.
Yeah, that was in United Arab Emirates. Yeah, I did a speedboat festival, 1-day gig, performed for my friend's circus, kids' playground thing. And I got put up in a really suave hotel, and I only did 1 day's work.
Sweet.
Oh, wow, is that for me? Yeah. Is this the giraffe one? Yeah. No
The
wonder
greatest
it can make you
Rumpelstiltskin show I ever
excited.
saw was outside the Spiegel tent in Adelaide in probably 2000.
I was there. I think I was there. I've seen you at the Spiegel tent 2000.
You did a killer show, and people like filled your hat with
I
money.
remember that.
It was
I
so
remember.
full.
I
It was like
remember.
it was the fullest it's ever been.
That was outside the gun. Sorry, what am I saying? The
No, it's
Garden of
Spiegel.
Unearthly Delights outside the Spiegel tent.
That's right. And then some fucking like Aussie bloke just comes out of nowhere, grabs the hat, throws it in the air, and all the money just goes everywhere.
I remember that.
And the kids come and stole it all.
Wow, you were at that show.
I saw that show.
That's serendipity because, I mean, I was just thinking about that the other day. The guy, he had a go at me, for no reason at all. Just thought, he said, get a real job, you fucking wanker. And then I said, the war in Chechnya was going on at the time. I said, why don't you go to Chechnya if you want some action, you pansy? And then he was trying to make people feel uncomfortable, and then he came up to me and he was being a bit verbal, and I said, why don't you go? I swung my microphone around there saying, why don't you go and suck your mother's cock? And he went fucking ape at me, and he chased after me. I was on my spring shoes and hid behind a bouncer behind the fence, and he got my microphone swinging around his head, yelling to the audience, he told me to suck my mother's cock.
That show probably cost you $700.
I lost quite a bit of money, but there was a Chinese lady that would scan the grass, about 7 a.m. each day after the sprinkler systems would go off for looking for my stray coins that I missed my hat.
I know, I saw it. They just scattered. All the kids just scattered and grabbed all your
God,
cash.
that's amazing. You were at that show. I used to do the late night gnarly graveyard shift slot after all the performers had finished and go all night, until the sprinkler system would go off in the morning. Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah, that was a special time, actually.
I ended up doing 18 days in a row and 10 4-hour shows, 5-hour, lots of long runs.
So
then I went to I can't even remember what that year.
Let's talk about the 24-hour shows. Like, what was the inception of that?
My longest was 53 hours, but I did my first 24-hour show at the European Juggling Convention in Holland, in Rotterdam. And I've done a 53-hour and a 48-hour the year before in Germany.
But why? Why the 24-hour shows? Like, what's the point?
Oh, I don't know. I just did it for something to do, and people liked it. I mean, Yeah, and then it just became kind of, fun just to do an experimental performance.
We also performed together at the World Busker Festival in Christchurch, which was a lot of fun.
I remember that. That was funny that night that we, the Backstreet Boys and Escape Naked, and we all, we ended up winning or something. What was it again? That competition thing? I can't remember now.
But you were the kind of act that didn't know that it was time to get off the stage, so we always had to
It's funny because I've still got Derek's voice introducing me to the stage from the Buskers Festival. He goes, "Welcome to the stage, Rumpel Stillskin."
Well, I don't know how. I'm just going to do in case I don't have the opportunity to do it later, I'm going to do the bump out now.
Okay.
In the meantime, and in between time, this is another edition of the Busker Hall of Fame with the one and only Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh, it's great to be here. I mean, I never knew I'd get around to it, but I did one with Robert Nelson, the Butterfly Man, at his place.
I'm going home.
And then Anthony turned up.
And I'm going home.
You met Robert Nelson, didn't you? The Butterfly Man?
Yeah. When I was a kid, he was like the Robert Nelson was like when I was 13 years old.
Wow.
I saw Robert Nelson in a magazine juggling machetes like San Francisco Busker, and we were like, whoa.
Wow.
We're like, wow, like this guy's like the thing, And then I met him in New Zealand.
Shake, how's it going?
Jake, there's Joe and Jacob just walked in. I'm going home.
Yeah, right, we knew you had.
I'm going home.
Where are you going?
And anyway, then it's like I met Robert Nelson in New Zealand when I was like I was nothing, and then I don't know how.
Now Anthony's
yeah. And then when I became a god, it was like, and then like Robert Nelson wrote to me going you're one of the you're the last of the Mohicans. That's what Robert Nelson said to me. He's like, you're out there. You're like the last of the Mohicans. Fucking stay the course. Don't give up. Robert Nelson was like, yeah, you're.
Well, he lives on. He lives on in all of us.
He does. But it was quite a strange thing because here's this guy that I idolized as a child, and then later in my life, he's talking to me on the internet saying, "Hey, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You're the last of the Mohicans."
It's nice when your heroes do that,
isn't it? It's amazing. And I could do that for you if you like. I know.
Would you please?
Yeah,
on tape?
Yeah. Hey, you're the last of a dying breed.
Just say something nice.
You're the last of a dying breed, Eric. You're the last of a dying breed, and you need to keep going. You need to keep going because without you, comedy dies. Comedy dies with you, Eric. Because the rest of them, you know what? They're just talking shit into my fucking glass, man. They're just shit in my glass. You're a real comic, man.
Well, you heard it here first. Rumpel, you're a legend in my mind.
We're all legends. Life is funny, isn't it? Crikey.
Life is funny. Life is definitely funny.
And good, bad, happy, sad, and everything in between. Got to make the most of it, the miracle that life is. Wow, it's been a really great time being here, Yeah, seeing folks, it's all.
Have you had what's your life goal?
Oh, crikey, well, it'd be good to try and just make the world a better place somehow.
I mean, yeah, that's a soundbite, and you're right. It would be good to make the world a better place, but what do you want to do?
Oh, it's kind of weird. I don't know. I'm still discovering myself, and, there's the inner journey and the outer journey. It's, just to enjoy the experience of existing.
Any regrets?
Oh, yeah, we all do, don't we? Like having a nose job, that was the worst thing I could have ever done to myself. What the fuck? No way.
Nobody else knows about that, but that you carried that for a long time.
Well, it is a bit weird because, I don't know, when you get, there's nothing better than, the way, the real deal, expression, you know what I mean? You can't, all the noses in the world aren't going to change the original one. But, why hide, wearing a prop on your nose kind of thing, you know what I mean? I get that, I'm a naturalist at heart. But, metaphysically, you can't get your nose to grow back by, it's just not quite the same.
You for years you traveled wearing your own costume, and now you're not. You're like you got a proper shirt on, you got slacks. You're looking really good.
Oh my God! It's probably because I lived in LA for a long time, doing background work, very neutral work. So I get all my clothes for the $1 sale. So it's only a $1 shirt. But I mean, it makes me look like
You got them for $1, but you look like $1 million.
Yeah, like the jester's outfit, a suit of ties. The only one that I don't have is a noose around the neck one. Yeah.
You have a family that is unlike anyone else in the world.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. You wouldn't have got anywhere with all the people that have loved and helped you.
Yeah, I mean, I am very grateful, Yeah. I mean, it's been pretty amazing, really.
Let's end this.
It hasn't all been a bowl of cherries, but,
No, let's end this with one little thing. Why don't you say a little something to all the people you've met all over the world over the years?
Oh, well, I just hope everyone to enjoy life and make the most of the being here in this life form as we are. Just to try to make the world a better place. Happiness, positive equals positive. Turn the whole world into one big, happy, fancy dress party, contagious love fest.
Well, you've always made my life a little bit better.
Thanks, Eric. Wow.
When you were, you came to...
It was funny when I saw you and we went to Cambodia, but you flew there and I got the shuttle bus into the Thai border and then another bus thing.
Yeah, you were on the back of a...
You were worried about the mosquitoes.
I was. And you showed up on the back of like a Honda 50cc. You had a kebab in your mouth.
Yeah,
and
I didn't have a kebab. I'm a vegetarian.
Well, you had some sort of food on a stick.
No,
You're a vegetarian?
Yeah. It wouldn't be a food on a stick.
No wonder you have no energy.
I'm a breatharian. I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't eat. I live on a diet of paisley velvet ties.
Well, you made my life a better place for sure, and
likewise, Eric. Wow. I mean.
I've always. I remember I somewhere I have it, a little piece of paper that you left on my kitchen table when you stayed with me in Montreal, and you're like, yeah, thanks, you fucking weasel.
That was a really amazing place. I was well impressed seeing that theatre that you had. Truly, that was...
Well, I still have it.
I was imagining, God, I wished I could live in that place. That theatre. How's it going? Where are you going now? Oh, no, they haven't gone. I can't believe, wow, this is like the end. There's a party tomorrow, but I'm going to Liverpool at 4:30 in the morning on the megabus with 2 changes, so I better stay awake.
That's classic Rumpel. Just show up at the end of the festival.
Yeah, well, it'll be good anyway. I mean, I was the Fool on the Hill, the original one on the Beatles Love Show in Vegas for 2 years, and I met the original manager of the Beatles, the one that dissed him, and he wrote a book called The Fool on the Hill. I went to Astrid Kirch's exhibition, and then coincidentally there was a Fool on the Hill table on the book. I thought, what's that? And there was this chap called Alan Williams, and I bought it for 10 quid. And about an hour later, I bumped into him out of the blue. And, oh, man, that guy had a great sense of humour. At the Beatles Story Museum, there's a quote on a plaque on a wall. And John Lennon said, he was a great one, old Alan Hills. And so did McCartney, even though he gave the Beatles away. The man that gave the Beatles away.
He gave the Beatles away.
But he had a good sense of humour, that's for sure.
Well, how did you what was working for Cirque du Soleil like?
Oh, everything has its pros and cons. Initially, it seemed like it would be the fool's holy grail. Yeah, but sometimes it kind of feels like, you shouldn't let the darkness overshadow the light. It was good to have done it for sure, but it didn't, whatever. But sometimes it feels like too many cooks can spoil the broth, a broth. You can't do your own sideshow with an ensemble of 64 people, but... Yeah, the Fool on the Hill, that should have made it into the show, because that's a kooky, offbeat, Monty Python-esque song, and it sounds like Clown on the Hill or something, but that would have been...
When did you become the diplomat? As far as I'm concerned, French Canadians are the worst people God ever made.
It's very subjective, the world we live in. One generalisation never makes up the mind of the whole population, but, people are people, very strange creatures.
People are people, so why should it be that you and I should get along so awfully?
Yeah. We should all just love each other like one big happy family, shouldn't we?
Unless you're French Canadian.
Yeah, yes.
Of all the people you've met, How
You're
many?
one of them. No, you're a champion. I love you.
Yeah. But of all the people
Yeah,
you've met,
and
how
Eric,
many
yeah.
people? How many people do love most people, and how many people want to be loved by everybody?
Oh, we all. I
Way
think
the
that we
most.
all have a. Sometimes words can kind of seem like I mean, we all have this emotional intelligence, and we all have the same feeling that we yearn for unity. Yeah, we all want to be loved.
It's the very first thing we yearn for.
And yet we have so much division, possibly because there's things we know and things we don't know, and we think that the person, things that we fear, and the things that when you're confronting another person, you don't necessarily see what they see.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing, really, isn't it? Like, here we are in the world, and got to make the most of our existence.
Well, you become very philosophical in your old age there, Rumpel.
Have you done puberty?
Yeah, I know. It's a bit weird, I mean, like, a bit of a spring chicken dinosaur, like Mike said. I probably sound like I'm 13. I haven't, I mean, everyone in America calls me a ma'am on the phone. That's quite funny.
But you have a regular voice, you just don't use it.
Oh, well, the BBC, they saw me after I did a show years ago, and the guy said, I'd like to interview you for the BBC, and I caught a taxi, and I was in Brighton. I rolled up my jester's outfit, and when I knocked on the door, I said, oh, my God, I'm so sorry to tell you. I forgot to tell you that it was for the radio, not the TV. So I was sitting on air in my jester's outfit.
You're always in your jester's outfit, doesn't matter.
I know, I live in it. No, I don't. I've got a break character.
You're not living in it anymore, which is a remarkable thing.
Oh, I didn't do Edinburgh this year, but I did it in spirit.
You're here, man.
Yeah.
What do you do to do Edinburgh? What do you got to do? Get a crowd, drop a rope, make a fucking hat pitch? You did it. You're here.
I'm here for the love.
I have been traveling the circuit for a few years without doing a show, just for the love of myself. And some people are like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I'm, just, you're my tribe, right? You're my tribe.
The tribe of international street theatre. We are.
But you're a performer's performer. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I don't know about that. I just do whatever. I'm pretty useless on the street. I mean, I used to be better. But now, my condition's kicked in, so I'm not as sprightly physically, but I'll get there again. I'm going to shapeshift myself back into shape.
You're famous for the car accident or your car accident, and the time you had a issue with the police just after you got your driver's license. But now, after 2 years of having a license in America and visiting 41 states, how is your driving?
It's much better now, actually. I mean, it was weird. The day of my 24-hour show, my friend that I got my Ladybug 68 Beetle in her driveway, she said that it has to be out by the end of the month. And I thought, oh, my God. So it's still in LA. I've got to rescue it somehow. But I've been meaning to...
You have a 68 Beetle?
Yeah, 68. I mean, my friend that taught me how to drive it, no joke, his father toured Jimi Hendrix around for years. And I turned up the Woodstock 40th Anniversary Festival in West Golden Gate Park, San Francisco, lost in a taxi. I saw some Hare Krishnas and I said, hey, where's the festival? And they said, follow us. I went up a hill, down a hill, along a long winding path with them. As soon as I got there, I bumped into Jimi Hendrix's brother. I thought, what a cosmic way to arrive to a festival. Now we're friends on Facebook.
Hang on, are you telling me you can drive a stick shift?
Not that well, but I can. But I wish I had it here in Edinburgh. It would look ridiculous driving that bug around here, the Ladybug. It gets good comedic mileage, but it breaks down a lot.
What color is it?
Black and red like a ladybug. It's got antennae as well.
Of course it does.
But
But you've never really written a show. You just go out there and do shit.
Yeah, I just do stuff, and it's amazing that I've managed to perform in 50 countries and I still don't have a show.
Will you ever have a show?
Probably not, but you never know. It could come together somehow. I've still got a while to go yet. Not thrown in the towel.
What's your finale?
I used to do the flame and fire skipping rope on the unicycle with springs on my feet with a long nose and curly shoes and a heavy-duty jester outfit. I mean, it does get pretty tiring. I used to do it on all terrains. Glastonbury Festival, no worries. Hop around on spring shoes on a field with bumps everywhere and I'd do it like a piece of cake, but now I'm useless. But I'm going to get my strength back.
Where did you get those spring shoes?
Oh, I bought them in a flea market in Australia for $1. Oh, the best bargain I ever bought. And I think they must have been a retro 70s Australian thing, because I've never seen spring shoes in other countries.
Have you had the same shoes all these times?
Yeah, well, I was at the Bebel Comic Book Festival in Greece, and everyone laughed because I felt shorter on one leg. My spring shoe broke in the show, but that wasn't too fun. But
So you fixed it, but you still have them?
Oh, I got it welded back together, but it was a bit lopsided. But I found another pair of spring shoes in Australia, so that was awesome.
Both pairs came from Australia?
I know. I've never seen them anywhere else in the world. They're totally unique.
So there's another nutter down there like you?
Oh, they're probably. I haven't actually seen people. I've seen with the moon boots, those springy kind of. Yeah, but they're plastic, and they got a bit of a spring in them,
Were they like a kid's thing?
Yeah, they must have been. But I've had pretty good ankles over the years. I've done a lot of miles in those springs. I mean, I was at the Glastonbury Festival years ago, and I was walking everywhere, all kinds of terrain, and I lost my sole rubber stop on the end of the spring shoe, and I found it 5 hours later scanning the grass up in the Avalon field in the Stone Circle. No, sorry, the Stone Circle.
Have you been to Stonehenge?
Yeah, of course. I was an idiot because it was the time of the solstice, and I hitchhiked from London, and I got there too late, and all the bagpipers, people with bells in their toes, had gone. First time they'd opened it to the public for free in 15 years, but I got there and everyone had gone, and all the freaks, and I had to pay £15 to get in.
Bullshit.
I know. My timing was totally off.
What, your timing was bad?
Yeah, it's always a bit all over the place.
It's true now without you, if I had to leave without you.
That was a musical break. Back to Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpel, there's a famous story about you.
I prefer Rumpel these days because sometimes when they put me in the program as Rumpelstiltskin, some people get the wrong impression if there's not a dude there with a spinning wheel on stage.
I feel like I need to confront a few myths about you. Remember there's a story about you, the first time that you ever went to England.
England, yeah.
And you showed up in full jester uniform.
Oh, not quite.
And you had a bag full of Australian shrapnel. Is that a true story?
It's quite funny, I mean, how these stories go around over the years, and they sometimes they morph into something else, and it becomes a fairy tale like living your mythology. But yeah, sometimes the stories are a bit off. But, yeah, some of them are quite true.
Did you fly to London in full costume with a bag full of Australian shrapnel?
They have this joke sometimes. You hear about this English comedian that tried to smuggle comedy into Germany, but crikey, when I rock up, in Germany and I've got my four-wheel granny trolley full of toys and props, so you'll get 3 custom officers, one looking in your eyes, the other one asking you questions, the other one looking at your toys, and they just say, "Oh, are you an artist?" I say, "Yeah," and they say, "Have a nice holiday."
Those Germans, they have a bad reputation.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're in England you can get turfed out just for trying to bring in a jester's outfit.
Do you know a fellow named Shea Hooray?
Oh, yeah, he's a mate of mine. Good old Shea Hooray, absolutely.
Is it true that you drove across Europe with him once?
Oh, we went, we were travelling through Austria, I think it was, and then we went to Holland, to Amsterdam. Yeah, and Lee Hayes was there. Yeah, it was fun, we had some good times. I did the World Buskers Festival in Christchurch. I mean, it was unbelievable what happened in Christchurch. I mean, yeah, but wow, crikey, what a, jeez. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, it's, wow, I have to leave, but I mean, everyone's...
If you ever had advice to give for young street performers, what would it be?
Oh, crikey, I don't know. I mean, just enjoy what you do. Try and, bring some love to the world and, yeah, just do it.
Yeah, and you did.
Yeah.
So how many countries?
I've been to 74 now, every country on the entire map of Europe. Yeah, I should try to get to every country in the world someday.
You ever been to Syria?
Yeah, I've been to Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, Israel, Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, Albania, Serbia.
Was that all before the war?
Yeah, I went and performed in Kosovo when the war was on, sponsored by PSF Clowns Without Borders, a Spanish organisation. And I went with 3 Argentinian clowns and went to Kosovo and I did some performing there in some gypsy camps, and yeah, it's good to try and bring some love to the world. That's for sure.
Is it true that they abandoned you?
Oh, I mean, off-duty time I went walking around the streets in this Italian village, I think it was called Giacova or something. I mean, sorry, it was near the Italian border, I should say. But, yeah, that was pretty surreal. I was just playing silly songs on the guitar and walking around, and then this car went past with mag wheels and tinted windows, and someone wound down the window and went, "Yay!" Haven't seen a gesture around these parts before.
I guess Tito banned all the jesters.
Maybe. Yeah.
How did you find your time?
Send in the clowns, turn around the frowns.
You went to all these countries. Did you perform in all these countries?
Oh, yeah, I performed in 50 countries. I still don't have a show. It's a miracle that I can get by doing this,
When you do shows for people who don't speak your language, how do they go?
I know, I feel guilty that I haven't learned, I haven't put the effort in with the languages, but I'd love to, learn some. But, yeah, I just say Crique and everyone understands it. I mean, yeah, I remember I went to go to the Peterhof Palace Museum in, out near, St. Petersburg, sorry, but, it was a while on the train, but I overslept my stop, and, yeah, I'm getting mixed up, but I got out in a village and it was minus 20 degrees. And I was just saying, oh, crikey. This was in Russia.
You performed in Russia?
No, I should have. The Slavopolian, the Russian clown, I was just walking around my jester's outfit in Edinburgh in 96, and he thought I was a unique character, and his Alaskan partner said, "Oh, Slavo would like to invite you to the snow show." So I got to see that, and that was cool. And he let me leave my bag in his dressing room before the show, and then he invited me to his party afterwards. And about a year later in Ireland and Dublin, he gave me a lift from Dublin to London with my four-wheel granny trolley. I was a bit worried trying to get my stuff back into the UK. But I went in style.
You've traveled in style many times.
Oh, yeah, it'd be quite funny to write a story about all the absurdity just trying to get to and fro all the festivals over the years. I'd probably get in the Guinness World Record for the most impractical way to possibly be a street performer carrying too much on foot,
Because you traveled from Bangkok to Siem Reap in Cambodia, which is only 300 kilometers, but you traveled in the back of a pickup, and then when you got there, you told me, "Oh, yeah, it was pretty bumpy."
I know, it was crazy. Like, there were peasants in the field shining torches to help guide the traffic. And I remember leaving Cambodia, there was this, big slab of iron, and it fell down, and the bridge fell down, but the teamwork was amazing. Helped hoist the bridge back on so we could get over it and get back to Thailand. That happened in Cambodia. The bridge fell down.
How long did that take?
It was only a small bridge over, but it took a while. Not that long, actually, only about half an hour or so.
Did you help out?
Oh, I was trying, but, they did it before I could do it. So I would have, though, but I'm piss weak. I know, sorry, I'm not.
You're not really an engineer.
I'm not very alpha male. I don't have much strength. I'm a pansy.
Did you graduate high school?
Oh, no. I went to a circus school for 6 months, the National Institute of Circus Arts, and my number, I dressed up as a jockey on a pogo stick playing the guitar. And then I juggled a bit, and I couldn't believe that I passed it because I was the oldest person that I've ever let into the school. I was 33 at the time, and everyone else, the oldest they'd ever accepted was 25, and it was compulsory to do acrobatics.
So what age did you leave school?
Oh God, well that was kind of like school, so I guess that was my last.
Well, when I meant when you were young.
Oh, I think I only went up to year 11, really. I didn't go to university.
Me neither.
But I hitchhiked around Australia a lot back in the day as well. Done a lot of hitchhiking around the world.
Hitchhiking is an art.
Yeah, I don't do it as much these days. But I just roll up wherever in Europe when I first got here and, find dilapidated buildings. I did that in Luxembourg City, rocked up in the wintertime. Oh my God, it was freezing. Yeah, wow, what a world we live in, that's for sure.
No kidding.
Crikey. Yeah, it's amazing, really, isn't it? I mean, here we are in Edinburgh. It's all starting to it's fading away now.
How was your time at Cirque du Soleil on stage?
What was that? I had good stage time. As far as stage time goes, I had, you know. I mean, it was pretty funny sometimes, you know, you get all these, you know, celebrities that, you know, would come back after the show, but sometimes they would announce who they were, you know, and but sometimes, you know, you'd know that they were even in the show watching, like Michael Jackson one day turned up, but I'd do a big figure eight a couple of times to the Hey Jude song, so that was pretty weird, thinking, oh, crikey.
You met Michael Jackson?
No, I went to have a shower, but he was only like about 70 metres away, and some artists discovered him near a door, you know, and he was waiting for his limousine, and people with towels wrapped around their waists, you know, just trying to get a selfie with him and stuff.
You're living in Los Angeles, which is like a fucking, how can I put it? It's a kind of a courageous thing to do, to be random in L.A.
I know. I was living in my van, hanging onto the edge of existence like a spindly spider monkey in La La Land, living in my van, you know. But I mean, yeah, it's pretty bizarre, you know. I mean, I lived there on and off for about 5 years, just doing background work, filming TV. I've been in a lot of different TV shows, but sometimes you're there on set for 15 hours, and you'll be lucky if they film the back of your head.
Well, of course.
Like, I did this thing on the unicycle for the Ray Donovan show, I think it was, but rode backwards and forwards about 80 times in Venice Beach, and someone took a screenshot and said, Jolly, and posted on my wall, and they said, you're in the show, and they only took he took a screenshot from the waist up, you can't even see the wheel. So you wouldn't even know I was riding a unicycle, but I got a union voucher.
You don't need to be background work. You need to be, like, doing parties for, like, rich weirdos.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think that would happen in the Hollywood Hills, but it's not. You know, I mean, I don't get invited. I mean, it's not like Elton John's going to just book me a gig to do my Rumpel show at his party.
Fuck. That's what you need to be doing.
I know. Well, maybe. I don't know if it happens. But, you know, yeah, I've done a lot in my time anyway, so it's, you know, I'm happy. Not all the time, but, you know, yeah, whatever.
I have a feeling you're going to come across some big money at some point, and all those people that you owe favors to.
I'll probably win the lottery and then accidentally throw out my ticket and have to go through every rubbish dumpster to find my lost lottery ticket.
Well, somehow I see that too. It is so good to see you. You're bright. You're quite bright-eyed.
Oh,
Your eyes are the same brightness they've always been.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, you know, you got to, you know, yeah, do what you can. Yeah, it's always a buzz, you know, being here, of course. You know, because, you know, when it all disperses and we all go our ways wherever, I mean, yeah, it's quite fascinating, you know, I mean, just the journey of places you go, and then, you know, festivals, you meet people that you've seen, like, friggin' way back in the day, you know, and, yeah, and it's just like, you never know who's going to be there, and so much serendipity happening all the time. It's amazing.
Do you believe in God?
Oh, I mean, I believe in the essence of some great, I don't know, it's I'm not religious, that's for sure, I'm spiritual.
Well, serendipity is a good word you used earlier. I felt...
Yeah, I think that it's definitely magic that to exist.
Well, just even the path that you and I have had, like, I have rarely seen you for long times, but it's been over the course of at least 28 years.
I know, it was awesome to see you. I thought, oh my God, Eric again, I haven't seen you in years in Edinburgh.
It's true.
I know, and here we are, and we're, wow, and there's, a lot of other performing folks just within a few meters.
And everybody knows each other.
I know, that's the amazing thing, you know, it's like, wow, you know, I mean, just all the stories of over the years of, you know, yeah, and people say funny things that, you know, happened years ago. And
if you settle down, you know, there's a risk that you'll never see any of these people again.
Oh, I don't know if I'll settle down. Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite performing as much as I used to, but I'm still just doing it. You know, I did the comedy festival in Melbourne, and I did the Edinburgh Fringe 2 years ago, but I think I might have to try a different thing than the Jester as well. I don't know. I mean, but it might work one day. I mean, I'm getting progressively worse.
Well, the fool is the sad clown.
I guess. But life is a tragic comedy. Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for sadness, we wouldn't know what happiness was.
It's true. It's true. If it wasn't for sadness, we wouldn't know what happiness was. And I have had my own sad times. The people who know me best know that I sometimes hide in a hole for a year or 5. But I'm a better man for all the clowns I know.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, it's an amazing thing, to be able to, just express yourself and, that's what people are here for, I mean. It's fun, an outlet to express yourself.
And you're one of them.
Yeah, well, everyone, I mean, not everyone, but yeah. Life is a stage, in a way.
Life is a stage. You heard it from here. Rumpelstiltskin. Oh, Jolly Goodfellow.
Yeah, in America they know me as Jolly, but in Europe and Australia everyone calls me Rumpel.
You know what? Let's just end it. We'll end it.
Oh, yeah,
Rumpel, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, Eric. This just happened impromptu, just standing outside the doorway of the City Café in Blair Street in Edinburgh, near the 100 Square.
I know that this is it's going to be loud for a lot of people, but you know what?
We did it. I didn't think we'll do it for another 2 years or something, and it just happened you just pulled it out and did the interview.
It's just a taste, just a little taste of Rumpel.
Our next one's going to go for 72 hours. 72-hour podcast.
And in case you never hear it from me, in case I never see you again, I love you.
Yeah, likewise, Eric. Yeah, wow.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, you're champion.
Thank you for giving me sunshine.
Who doesn't love Rumpel? There's no one else quite like him, and I'm glad he's part of our tribe. For the first time, we'll be releasing a YouTube version of this episode. It'll feature a slideshow of photos that Rumpel sent along. There'll be a link in the episode notes when the video's up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the Busker Hall of Fame YouTube channel. We'll be posting more interviews there in the coming months. As always, this podcast is a labor of love, but we do need sponsorship to keep it going and release episodes more frequently. So if you'd like to become a sponsor of the podcast, contact me at magic@buskerhalloffame.com. You can also visit the Busker Hall of Fame website and throw a little love into our online hat by clicking on the donate button, or become a sustaining supporter of the project at patreon.com/BuskerStories. Thanks in advance for supporting this project and helping keep busking history alive. Music for this podcast came from 357 Lover. Links to both songs are available in the notes section of this episode on the Busker Hall of Fame website. You can subscribe to this podcast in iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and now Spotify. And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and like I said, YouTube. If you enjoyed this podcast, please tell a friend about it and leave us a 5-star review. It'll help get the podcast noticed, and we'd really appreciate it. If you'd like someone to be interviewed, or if you feel a certain voice has not been heard, please reach out to me and let me know. We're doing our best to capture interviews and stories with as many performers as we possibly can. It's up to you to help fill in the gaps. So on behalf of myself and the rest of the team of the Busker Hall of Fame, remember, if you can't laugh at yourself, find someone else and laugh at them. I'm Magic Brian. Thanks for listening.